Three, two, one. It's sports time on Rocket Talk. Talking all things sports from professional to college to high school. Here are your hosts, Tyler Johnson and Wesley Magagno.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Rocket Talks. Today we're going to be talking high school sports. We got the season wrapping up in the next week or so. Playoffs are right around the corner. It's like we got a couple good teams that are going to be making it to the regionals this year, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it. After covering Rock Springs on Saturday, both the boys and girls pulled out a win at home, the final home game of the season for the Tigers, so that helps moving forward. Honestly, at the beginning of the year, I didn't really expect, at least on the boys' side, for them to qualify for the postseason. So they're definitely picking up their play. Same with the girls. I want to say the girls won their 5th straight win, their 2nd straight quadrant win. So definitely both Maine and Candelaria, they got their teams moving in the right direction as of late.
And Rock Springs, it seems like they, when I talked to Coach Maine, a couple of things that they wanted to improve on was consistency. Because they show up and play against the really good teams. I mean, they beat Thunder Basin, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
they beat Kelly Walsh.
Yeah.
And Laramie. They beat Laramie as well. Those are tough teams in the state. So
Definitely.
they definitely show up to play when it counts. It's just they got to get a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, I think that's their number one problem is consistency. That and playing at, like you said, they whenever they play against like these really great teams, they play great. But when they happen to host or be on the road against the lower level teams, they play to the level of their opponent, which you cannot do, especially in the postseason if you're trying to get to the postseason. So, if they fix that, I think Rock Springs definitely has a shot at making a run.
Yeah, and then on the girls' side, I mean, they have Burley Jenkins. She's a killer.
Oh man, she's definitely fun to watch, and we're lucky to have her for the next 3 years.
Yeah, 20 points per game, or more than 20 points per game for her. They also have another sophomore guard, Cameron James. She's a little hustler, a little speedster. She can really get after it.
Definitely.
And with senior leadership with Aislinn and Peyton Reese,
Peyton. Yeah.
they could have a good shot at making a nice little run as well.
Especially from last year. I mean, these girls went to state last year. They got experience. It's kind of up to the older girls to show the younger ones, like, because postseason basketball is totally different than regular season.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on that, and the Tigers just need to play. I think how Maine quoted it, Candelaria quoted it. We've strung together some good wins as of late, and we just need to keep that momentum. So, coming off of a good win at home over Cody on Saturday, both the boys and girls, and that really gives the team momentum leading up into Thursday's game on the road at Green River, because Green River last time a few weeks ago came into Rock Springs and won both games. So, I think they really needed that win against Cody to kind of propel them.
I think that's gonna hurt. Like, they're gonna stop them probably in regionals. And my bet, when they face Green River, just on the girls' side for sure.
Girls on the girls' side. Green River looks to be the more experienced team.
They got two players, Ashlyn Birch and Madden Heiser. They're gonna go play JUCO next year.
Oh yeah,
they've won 8 straight. So right now, you're kind of Coach Carroll, when I talked to him on Monday, he said that haven't quite hit their stride yet, but they're getting there.
Right.
Like to see some more consistency on defense, and really that's going to be their emphasis over the next 2 days when they go and play Rock Springs tomorrow. It's a good game.
Especially because, the last time these two teams met, they were close calls. I think the girls came out with a 53-50 victory, so narrow win right there. And then the boys, they lost to Green River, 55-52. So another 3-point, another one possession ball game. It could have gone either way. So
it's an emotional game
and
too, because these kids they've known each other pretty much their whole life. They played, sports outside of school with each other. So I mean, they really come out to play on these Sweetwater Showdown games.
Exactly, and it's the Make-A-Wish game too. So it's a fun game for the community. But after talking to the coaches, like they stated, it also counts towards their record.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is fun for for the fans to enjoy, but it's also you got to take it. The teams have to take it seriously too because it does go on their record. So, I mean, also kind of dating back a few weeks ago to the blood drive. Rock Springs won the blood drive, and it kind of back in years past, it's kind of like, okay, these guys won the blood drive. Let's come back and win the Make-A-Wish game, you know. So Green River doesn't want. Rock Springs doesn't want Green River to take the win at home in Rock Springs and then at home on Thursday. So I think both teams are going to come out prepared to play. I think it, honestly, being rivals, being crosstown rivals, just 15 miles down the interstate from each other, I think it's going to come down to another close ball game between the two.
I do too.
My prediction is whoever has the ball last, I think. Whoever gets that last second shot is going to come up with the win. Especially on the boys' side. But as for the girls, Candelaria stated some really good things. Last time they played each other, Ashlyn Birch and Madeline Heiser kind of tore up the Tigers. The Tigers let a lot of assists, gave up a lot of assists and points on transition. So as long as they can kind of contain Heiser for a full 32 minutes rather than just a half, I think Rock Springs has a good shot. And I covered that game a few weeks ago. It just seemed like Rock Springs took a lot of unnecessary shots that game.
I think that comes with experience, though, too.
It does.
Because, like, Green River they have more seniors. They
Yeah.
have better guard play. I mean,
Yeah.
Jenkins, as good as she is, you know, Heiser is experienced. She
Right.
does she does a good job at managing the team, like managing the flow of the game. Like she knows when to create tempo. She knows when to bring it back. She's good at facilitating,
Right.
and her teammates finish for her,
Oh,
which
yeah. Definitely.
can't be said for the Rock Springs girls up
Yeah, I
a
was
lot
just
of
saying.
times.
I was just saying, like last game, especially on the girls back in Rock Springs, there was like 3-4 minutes left in the game, down by 1, and Rock Springs is trying to hit 3-pointers. Like you don't need to be doing that. You have plenty of time. Don't go for the deep shot. I mean, work it inside.
Yeah,
You know?
but in their defense, when you got a player like Jenkins who she can pull it up from 3 feet beyond, and that's her game, and she can create her own shot. I
So
mean,
can Reese. Yeah, Reese is
Yeah.
also a shooter too.
So,
So
I mean, it's one of those things where like, yeah, you do want to get in the paint, but you know,
if
but
you're hot, if you're hot from the outside,
sometimes stick to your strengths.
Exactly. So I don't know. Really good game. You know, there's only 2 games. Both teams only have 2 games left of the regular season. Rock Springs finishes out the year at Green River on Thursday, and then in Kelly Walsh on Saturday. As for Green River, they host Rock Springs, of course, on Thursday, and then they host Star Valley, I think, on Friday to close out the regular season. So,
They host.
Yeah, they host Star Valley.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So, I mean, especially for Rock Springs, both the boys and the girls teams are sitting, both teams are trailing Kelly Walsh in their quadrant. If the boys can pull out a win at Green River and at Kelly Walsh, they have a great shot at going into regionals as the #1 team in the quadrant. For the girls, they're kind of a little ways back. I mean, they're still in second place in their quadrant, but according to this, let's see, what was their record? Yeah, so Kelly Walsh sits at a 4-1 quadrant record. Rock Springs girls also sit at 4-1. So I mean, they're not too far back behind Kelly Walsh either. If they can pull out both wins on the road, they have a great shot too. So, and I think it really helps going into regionals. Either whether you're sitting at #1 or #2, just having that #1 seed kind of helps moving forward. So
I look at and it's a little bit of momentum as well.
it is.
All the teams are kind of definitely on the Green River side. They kind of picked up their pace a little bit, kind of hit their stride. Like I said, Green River girls have won 8 straight. The boys team has won 4 out of the last 5, and the one loss came into a triple overtime loss to Evanston, where they only lost by 1 point.
Right. Exactly.
So I mean, Lori Ivy, she told me, she was like, kind of the emphasis has been, despite their post players not being as tall as the other teams, they do like to get it down there and kick it back out because they've really been hitting their shots lately. So.
Right. And that Cole Murray, their big guy, he's only going to help moving forward too. He's only a sophomore this year. So.
Yeah, they got a good program going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, with Rock Springs, on the other hand, unlike Green River, they got a whole bunch of seniors on their team. I think they start 4 seniors and 1 junior and Alan Martinez.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll help them in the long run going into the playoffs. Maybe they can make some noise.
Mm-hmm.
But they've definitely got a chance to make a deep run.
Yeah, that Martinez, especially talking about him, just last Saturday he led the team with 21 points, and not just on offense, but he also made his presence known on defense.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Main told me going into halftime, Cody's leading scorer, that Hunter Hayes, had 17 points, and he was just, tearing up the Tigers pretty much. But at the halftime in the locker room, Alan Martinez volunteered to guard Hayes in the second half, and by the time the game was over, Hayes only had 3 points in the second half. So Martinez is definitely showing his stride.
It'll be big for him next year.
Definitely, he's not just shooting the ball well, but he's playing great on defense. And Isaac Schoenfeld too. You got to give him credit. He just not looking at the stat sheet, you wouldn't think he's doing a whole lot.
He's a big body.
But he's a big body. He gives off. He performs like really great screens. He keeps the opponent off the glass.
He does the dirty work.
He does the
stuff
dirty
that
work.
doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
Exactly. So give him credit too. He's only a sophomore as well. So yeah, definitely both programs have a lot to look forward to in the future. So
yeah. Tomorrow's games at Green River, the girls play each other at 5:30. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. And the boys tip off around 7:30. And I think they do the Make-A-Wish between the games. I'm not sure. What is that? Can you explain that a little
the
bit?
Make-A-Wish, I've only been to it a couple times too. I want to say the Make-A-Wish, they'll announce which school raised the most money for their kid between the games, kind of like what they did for the blood drive. So I don't remember who won last year, but like I said, no matter what it is between these two schools, it's always a rivalry. So you can count on there being a really good home crowd there for Green River. You can also count on a lot of the fans from Rock Springs traveling to the game too. So that's my prediction. I expect there to be a good crowd and a tough environment. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a good edition of Sweetwater Showdown.
Exactly.
That's all we got for today. I'm Tyler Johnson. You can find me on Twitter. I am Tyler Johnson.
I'm Wesley McGagna. You can find me on Twitter at Wesley McGagna.
See y'all later.